സ്വപ്നം കാണുവാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വളരെ ഹാപ്പിയാണ്. സ്വപ്നങ്ങളെ പിന്നിലാക്കി ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ പറന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. യു ഹാവ് ടു ഡ്രീം ബിഫോർ യുവർ ഡ്രീംസ് ക്യാൻ കം ട്രൂ.
MES College, Erumeli, proposed PO, Erumeli, Kottayam, unaided arts and science college under the Muslim Educational Society, approved by Government of Kerala and affiliated to the Mahatma Gandhi University.
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. കേൾക്കാം? ഇങ്ങോട്ട് കേൾക്കത്തില്ല. ഇങ്ങോട്ട് കേൾക്കത്തില്ല. ഇങ്ങോട്ടില്ല. മ്യൂട്ടാണ് സാറേ, അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യൂ. ഹലോ. ഹലോ. നോക്കാം. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്, കട്ട് ചെയ്യണ്ട. ഹലോ ശിവമ്മ. ഹലോ ശിവമ്മ, ഇങ്ങോട്ട് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല സാറേ. ഇപ്പോഴോ? എനിക്ക് ഒരു സെക്കൻഡ്.
ഹലോ.
ഓക്കെ.
ഹലോ.
ഇപ്പൊ ഓക്കെ.
ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
ഓക്കെ.
Hello.
Okay.
സാറേ. ഹലോ സാർ. ഓക്കെ. ഒന്ന് പറയൂ ജിനേഷ് സാർ. ഓക്കെ സാറേ. ഇപ്പൊ ഓക്കെ.
ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി കോളേജിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഭാവിയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ആശങ്ക പലതായിരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ സുന്ദരമായ ആ ക്യാമ്പസിലേക്ക് കയറി ചെല്ലുമ്പോൾ ഒരു ആത്മവിശ്വാസം എനിക്ക് ലഭിച്ചു. നല്ല സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, സംശയം അകറ്റി വെളിച്ചം പകർന്നു തന്ന അധ്യാപകർ, പുതിയ ആശയങ്ങൾ നൽകിയ ലൈബ്രറി, ഏകാഗ്രതയും നല്ല ഓർമ്മകളും നൽകിയ ക്ലാസ് റൂമുകൾ, ഡിജിറ്റൽ ലോകത്തേക്ക് പറക്കാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ച കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ലാബ്. അങ്ങനെ MES കോളേജ് എന്നെ ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് സ്വപ്നം കാണുവാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വളരെ ഹാപ്പിയാണ്. സ്വപ്നങ്ങളെ പിന്നിലാക്കി ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ പറന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. യു ഹാവ് ടു ഡ്രീം ബിഫോർ യുവർ ഡ്രീംസ് ക്യാൻ കം ട്രൂ.
MES College, Erumeli, proposed PO, Erumeli, Kottayam, unaided arts and science college under the Muslim Educational Society, approved by Government of Kerala and affiliated to the Mahatma Gandhi University.
Okay, since everything is okay, we can start. Good evening, everybody. I welcome you all to the webinar on the art of reviewing the literature by integrating technology, conducted by Internal Quality Assurance Cell and Research Forum of MES College, Erumeli. MES College, Erumeli, the first unaided college of under Muslim Education Society, started by only 3 UG courses, but now it had 7 UG and 7 PG courses. Now we have here with us our chief guest and resource person, Dr.Hareesh and Ramanathan, professor and head of the department Management Studies, Jain University, Cochin. Mahin M. Sir, Principal of MA, Mrs. Ramadevi A, IQAC Coordinator and Vice Principal, Mr. Jidesh K. and his team of Sasim, Dinesh, Jace, and Anandu. Let's start our program by a warm welcome from our Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator, Mrs. Ramadevi, Madam. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you, Shiva. Good evening, all. It is my pleasure to welcome you all. Let me introduce myself. I am Ramadevi A, Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator of MES College, Erimeli. In this lockdown period, IQAC, Research Forum, and various departments of our college organizes a series of national and international webinars. This is the 13th webinar. Today's national webinar is on Art of Reviewing Literature by Integrating Technology. We are putting up this webinar to give an awareness of modern techniques in literature review. Today's session will be handled by Dr.Hareesh Ramanathan, Professor and HOD, Department of Management Studies, Jain University, Cochin. He is an expert in the field of analytic and research methods. We are sure he is a suitable and outstanding personality to handle the topic. On behalf of IQAC and Research Forum, I welcome Dr. Hareesh and Ramanathan. A warm welcome, you, sir.
Thank you.
Our institution is in the process of development under the efficient and enthusiastic Principal Mahin, sir. I welcome Mahin, sir, to this webinar. Welcome, sir. This webinar happens only by the vision and effort of Jidesh K.S., Director of CDC. I welcome Jidesh, sir, to this webinar. Welcome, sir. Dr. Rakhi Chandrasekhar, Director of Research Forum, is the real inspiration of this webinar. I welcome Rakhi Chandrasekharan to this webinar. I wholeheartedly welcome IT Cell Director Sabjan Yusuf and his team members, Jace John, Anandu, Department of Electronics, Jinesh and Tansin, Technical Department. And also, I sincerely welcome Sheba Michael, Dean of Student Welfare, to this webinar. Now, I wholeheartedly welcome each and every participant to this webinar. Hope this will be a fruitful webinar to all of you. Once again, I welcome one and all to this webinar. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. May I request our beloved Principal, Mahin M. Sir, to inaugurate this webinar. Over to you, Mahin, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, all. I am happy to be present with you this evening in connection with the webinar based on the topic, The Art of Reviewing the Literature by Integrating Technology, conducted by IQAC and the Research Forum of our college. We have already conducted 3 international webinar and 11 national webinar on different topics during the period of COVID-19. I feel proud to say that our college is ready to cooperate with the UGC in its effort to face the new challenges faced in the field of higher education. We conduct this webinar on the topic, The Art of Reviewing the Literature by Integrating Technology, in order to encourage other institutions to organize similar programs. This webinar is part of our effort. I wish all success for the webinar and congratulate the organizers, Mrs. Ramadhavi Madam, Vice Principal and Coordinator, IQAC Coordinator, and Mr. Jidesh K.S., Director CDC, Mrs. Shiva Mahel Madam, Dean of Students Welfare, and Dr. Rakhi Chandrasekhar, HOD Department of Economics and Director Research Forum, Sabjan Yusuf, Director IT Cell, and Jace John, Assistant Professor Department of Electronics, Anandu, Assistant Professor Department of Electronics, and Jinish Vidamra, Assistant Administrator, and Tansin, System Manager. I also express my deep gratitude to Dr. Hareesh N. Ramanathan, Sir, Professor and Head Department of Management Studies, Jain University, Kochi, for arranging the class, for conducting the webinar. I am happy to inaugurate the webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Jitesh KS, CDC Director, to introduce our resource person to all of us join here. Over to you, Jitesh.
Thank you, Shibama. Good evening to all. I'm very proud to introduce our resource person, Dr. Hareesh and Ramanathan. Is a doctoral degree holder in management who is enthusiastic about business analytics and research. A certified expert in the field of analytics by IBM and Udemy for various analytical platforms. An acclaimed trainer and teacher in the field of analytics and research methods, who had conducted many talks and workshops in India and abroad to benefit the research fraternity. An approved PhD grade who has got around 50 indexed journal publication to credit and presented many research papers in international and national conference in India and abroad. One of the author of books, Statistical Method for Research, a step-by-step approach using IBM SPSS. A recipient of European Union Erasmus Fellowship for International Teaching and undertook short-term international teaching assignment. Croatia, area of expertise in the field of marketing research, consumer behavior, data analytics, and like. A social as well as a sports enthusiast, and hence passionately associated with many NGOs and government organizations and sports clubs. Now he working as head of the department and professor of Jain University Cochin campus. We wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, for the valuable presentation in this webinar. Thank you.
A very warm good evening to you all. Thank you, Dr. Sri Jitesh, the director of CDC, MES College Erumeli, for the welcome address. And I would like to thank the most respected people who are there included in this webinar as a panelist. Sri Mahin MN, the Honorable Principal of this institute. Ms. Ramadevi A, Vice Principal and IQAC Co-Coordinator of this institute. Ms. Sheba Michael, who did the entire comparing. She is a student dean as well. And all the people, all the teaching fraternity, who had wholeheartedly worked hard behind the organization of this webinar. People may be thinking, it is so easy to organize a webinar, then why this institute may be organizing so many webinars? So I would like to say this is their initiative, and this is purely because of the mindset to actually transfer the good piece of knowledge to the academic community as well as the community outside. So I appreciate, before I start my talk now, I would like to appreciate the entire management, the visionaries of this institute and all the teachers for organizing. And I'm very happy to listen to the fact that this is, I think, the 13th webinar that you are planning within a short span of around 3 months. Great initiative. So institutes like this should actually come forward for programs like this. Let me share my presentations also.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
The topic for today is actually the art of reviewing literature by integrating technology. So those people who are attending this program can actually keep ready. If you're logged in from a system, then it is well and good. I'm not planning to just go on with a lecture sort of mode. Rather, what all things that I'm trying to expose today will be all onto the practical extent of it. So I think you can have a hands-on experience of all those things that I'm trying to expose to you today. I'm not going to tell you big things, but very short and simple things, which I'm sure if you try to practice, you can learn the art of reviewing literature. The word art, I have put it very specifically because in this world of technology, everyone will be able to easily follow all these things. So you can be ready for the hands-on experience, so that all those things that I am trying to tell you, you can also try it on the same hand. And no, when we are trying to express or no trying to expose this particular topic today, everyone or no, at least majority of the people who are sitting or who are listening to this talk may be wondering what is so great about the literature review, because we are doing this right probably from our +2 days or even the time that you are doing your degree course, that we all may be well aware of all these things. And what is all the thing new in that? Those people who might have completed their PhD also may be feeling that, oh my God, no, I have already finished around 100 pages of literature review. What is so great in this? So I appreciate that thinking. But what I would like to tell you is that you just try to think the reverse. Reverse in the sense, have you did the literature, if you have exposed to this world, how much sincere that you were in doing the literature reviews? How many articles that you have reviewed? Have you gone through the literatures in full? That means the right from the first word to the last word. How much you have conceived those literatures? What was the modus operandi that you have followed while doing the literature, and how far that you have integrated technology to it? So these are the questions that I would like to address you today. So the focus point also, I'll try to make it very clear before I start. For PhD scholars, for PhD research supervisors, all these people, how this program would benefit them will be, they'll be able to actually guide their students in MPhil research or in PhD research or postgraduate research or whatever it is, or even it can be a degree project also. So literature review actually is a very integral part of the entire set of research what you actually does. So this is going to help you in that aspect. Those people who are doing the literatures, the literature review, the research, the current research scholars. So I am so sure that after my effort for maybe 45 minutes or an hour or so, that at least you will be having a consistent approach in actually dealing with the field of literature review. And those people who are actually the students, if somebody is attending this will definitely give you a sort of target to fix and to practice the step-by-step approach what I am trying to tell you today. So to proceed on further with the slides, these are the points that we may discuss today. The first one being formulating the right keywords. This is the most integral part of reviewing the literature. So I am trying to take a live example also for this. So all along with that, we'll be able to do a little bit of practicals also. So how that you can use the Boolean phrases for making combinations with the keywords, usage of online databases and what all facilities that you have in the online databases, using open educational resources, then citations. This is the most difficult task that we all may have, because different journals also, or different universities also may be preferring different citations methods or styles, so that you may be ending up in so much difficulty with respect to that particular thing. And I'll be going a little bit onto the storage of all these things using the cloud. Then the last and the most important one is grammar and plagiarism. So how that we can get rid of that, and how we can integrate technology for our use. So what if you have any doubts or things like that, you can write it in a piece of paper. At the end of it, that we'll be having Q&A sessions. You can use a Q&A board in Zoom, or you can even use a messaging box, so that I'll be able to read all such things. Or else, if you would like to ask me any questions, you can make a request to the host of the meeting. so that he can make you allowed to talk also, so that we can have a verbal interaction as well. So this is the topics what I have planned for today. And to enter into the ocean of what we are planning to discuss today, even now many research scholars used to come to me, since I'm little bit into the field of analytics. So I may be generally inquiring, what is the progress of the research that you are currently doing? So they may be telling that, sir, everything got over. I did the analysis and the findings part, everything is all done. Now I need to work really on the literature review. So you just have a retrospection of our research days also, and you also might have, I'm not telling that all of you had gone through that, but even then we maybe or know like what emphasize that we have given to the chapter by name review of literature or literature review is what we need to ponder at this point of time. Since it is very mandatory, that we might have gone with all these things, and we might have just gone with the Google, and we have formulated many things as such, and we have grabbed certain things from that, and somehow or the other we might have copied the abstract and we have pasted that, and somehow or the other that we might have escaped with that, or we might have finished it in a proper manner as well. Now the question there is, of the literatures what you have reviewed or you have cited in your thesis or in a paper, how much effort that you have given for reading it right from the top to from the first word to the last of it? Okay, so all these questions I need not require any answer right now. These are the questions that I am trying to ask yourself, which will give you a clear picture on how much self-satisfied we are with the process. You might have given full effort towards the designing of the questionnaire, things like that, this stuff and that stuff and all. But again, this is a question that we have to ask ourselves. Next thing is that I have seen many scholars coming to me and saying that, sir, my work is so innovative, I am not able to find anything which is related to my subject. So if you are telling this, or if at any point of your any corner of your mind, if you have a feeling like this, I would like to say you that somewhere you have thoroughly mistaken, because technology and the entire world is now at your fingertips, because at a mouse click or a keyboard click, the plethora of knowledge is all available in front of you, maybe in the paid version or in the unpaid version or in the open source or whatever it is. But you can have at least a sight-see access to the plethora of information that is available in front of you. So if you say you are not able to find anything which is nearing or which is maybe quite near to the area of research what you're doing, if you say that no, nothing is available, then you have gone wrong somewhere. So I would like to start from the part where you commit errors when you start doing your literature review. So this is a normal approach what you have to keep, because I'll just skip from all those things. This approach is generally called as a funnel approach. So mostly what we does is we may be using the inverted funnel approach, where we may be going to some narrow topic and we may be ultimately ending up in a total confused state, where you may not be knowing which one to be included in my literature review and which one to be thrown away out of it. This is a approach what you have to keep. Whenever you hear about literature review, the picture of the funnel should automatically come. So what it says is, you have to actually start the literature reviews from a broader perspective. You have to coin down, you have to filter it down to the subtopics, and you have to specifically pinpoint studies which are related to you, or studies which you think is most relevant for you. So this is exactly called by the name funnel approach. So how to implement funnel approach is what I'm trying to explain with a practical exposure, what I'm planning to do for today's class. So keep the picture of funnel in your mind. Okay, then when I proceed with my webinar, And I'll be able to, I'll be rather telling you how to relate it to the funnel approach. So now, before you start all the things, you have to have a perfect arrangement of files in your system. So I'm so sure that these days everyone will be using a computer or a laptop or even a tab for that matter for the entire works that you're doing. So for example, I have given in this case, I have named this sub function as the art of folder creation for organizing the review. So what I would like to suggest to you is that if you are planning to do any sort of research, maybe for the postgraduate or maybe for MPhil or maybe for PhD or maybe for some papers or so, or maybe for some projects or anything like that, the first and foremost thing that you have to learn is how should I organize my files. Files in the sense, the entire set of files that you nowadays work will be all soft files. Hard copies will be there, but even then, you have all the freedom and for converting it to the soft forms. So normally you may be having, you have to create a master folder in the name of what that you are planning to do for. If it is PhD, you can keep it as PhD, or if it is MPhil, that you can do it like that. If it is any project that you can do it like that. So this file actually should be stored in any of the cloud drives. So I trust you, I need not explain about the usage of cloud drives and all, because Google Drive and all will be much more familiar for you. There are other paid versions like Dropbox, things like that. So every cloud drive will be giving, because Google, it is free for you up to certain data limit. Beyond that, if you want to go, that you have to pay for the next thing, the next upgradation, or even you can take another email ID, so that again 15 GB will be altogether free for you. So in that, you have to create a master folder. So after our like discussion is over, and if you want to have a little more insights into Google Cloud creation, I can also help you in that extent. Since this is not the objective of our class, I'm just skipping through that. So in that master file, you can have subfiles like this: working files, objectives, literature, official documents, all these things. You try to create separate folders for all those things which are having a direct stake with the master file what you have created. So this is a must, because you will not be having any sort of confusion to search on with the files what you are working with. I can guarantee you that majority of the time where research scholars spoil is on searching for a file what you have saved. You might have sometimes downloaded in the downloaded folder, or it may be there in My Documents or in the desktop or in places where you don't have any idea of. And if possible, you should actually try to rename that particular file what you're downloading in the language or in the nomenclature what you it is easy for you to understand. If you just keep the same name of the file which is in the downloadable format, it can have even alien language also, because they might have saved it in a different format. It may have all percentages or at the rate or all special characteristics, whereby you'll be finding it very difficult to source where you have saved it. Okay, so whenever you are downloading, you have to give your own names for the files in the language that you know, or in the nomenclature which is easy for you to follow. So this is how that you can have any number of subfolders. There is no problem in that, but ultimately it should not confuse you. So now coming down to the green shaded area, which is the part of our area of discussion at today, it is the literature. So I have created theme 1, theme 2, theme 3, all those things. Now you may ask me, what is this theme all about? So I'm planning to come out with this. This particular slide is one of the integral part how to start with the literature review. This is called keywords. If you have gone with downloading any of the papers from any of the reputed or index journals, say for example like Scopus, ABDC, or Q1, Q2, or Web of Science, or all this type of index journals, any paper that you would like to, you can have access, or you will try to download, definitely will be having a first part called abstract. Under the abstract, there will be a sub line, or there'll be a heading by name keywords, and not less than 3, and of course will be more than 3 keywords which are so specific about that particular paper will be displayed there. So you may actually wonder, what is the requirement of all such things? Because why, if you are going on for writing a paper, no, why it is so important that you should give keywords? See, mostly all the bibliographical databases are actually integrating or optimizing their search with the use of keywords. So now, so that if the databases are using keywords for optimizing their search, so when you are also searching for literatures, you should also know how that you have to arrange the keywords. So keywords are nothing alien, or no, it is not related with any of the rocket science or so. It is a very simple concept. In the sense, this actually depicts the exact thing what you are searching for. Or say, for example, if you are able to find keywords from a journal that you have downloaded, those words which the author had claimed as keyword may be the major topic of discussion in the entire paper. Okay, so this is how normally keywords are generated. So now what you have to do is, when you are going to start with the literature, you may be having a very rough idea regarding what topics that you are planning to research on, or you may have any, or you and your research supervisor or your teachers might have had a preliminary talk on what I should do. Okay, so how to generate keywords is that you have to take a plain sheet of paper, and you have to just write whatever comes to your mind first. Okay, whatever comes to your mind first. So what you have to think, say for example, I'm just giving a practical example of what we are planning to do today. Everywhere, because why we are sitting in this webinar is also created by a pandemic. Okay, so say for example, for the example's sake, what I would like to tell you is that many of the people, because the entire world is actually suffering with COVID-19, so what could be the physical or the psychological impact of this pandemic on individuals? Say for example, or maybe telling that no, teachers are actually working all online, students are actually sitting in the home and addressing this. So how easy the job is, but no, people who are engaged in this only will be knowing that no, it is 3 times tiresome than the regular college hours, because we may have to do this, that, and maybe sitting in the systems, and you have to work for whether internet connection is there. We are not so comfortable with the interface what we have, and we may be worried about what the students will be doing on the other end of it, or will they be sleeping, all such things. Students may be having their own tension on the other side, or I don't know, because if the power goes, what will happen to me, because the teacher is taking an important topic. So things like that. And if I want to ask the teacher any doubt, I cannot switch on my video, but I'm not sitting in a with a presentable face. Many things can actually happen, and even parents may also have a like psychological impact with respect to that. Business is all happening online. So everywhere, even ministers or big organizations, even conferences are getting online, examinations are all going online. So this is actually making a change for the entire world order. So what we have to think for this is, if at all that we are forced to change from the way that we are, definitely there can be a psychological sort of disturbance for each and everyone inside you. Even you may be knowing that KG students are also having online classes. You just imagine how difficult for the teachers to just manage them, to call all their names and all rhymes, all these things going truly online. So definitely this can create an issue. So what you have to do is that you just close your eyes and think of the subject that you are planning to research on. So for the topic, what I had just like exposed to you, what you can find out from that is, for the sake of only generating this, I have generated pandemic is one keyword. Psychology is another keyword. Don't assume that this is only applicable for psychologists, because psychology, directly or indirectly, we all are actually associated with that. People from any discipline. Impact, we all know, because this particular webinar is actually a positive impact of a pandemic, because things can happen this way also. We may be telling that this is the end of the world, and if say for example, if MES college is sitting idle, we cannot do anything, it is all pandemic, this webinar would not have happened. So it is because of the proactive mindset that this was actually made into a practice. So it can have different types of impact also, positive impact and negative impact, all such things. So any number of words that it is coming to your mind, you just try to take it in a piece of paper, or you can make a soft copy, a Word or a PPT or whatever it is that you try to make. So after you had written down the words which had come to your mind, the next step what you have to do is you have to have a thorough check, because if at all that you want to delete anything, you just strike it off, and you just try to keep things which are so prominent that you believe that, okay, this will have an impact on the topic what I'm planning to research on. Okay, so if this is done, so for the sake of doing the practical thing, I have only taken 3 major keywords. So the keywords for the day is pandemic, psychology, and impact. Okay, so I think all done with this, and the next step what we have to do is we have to draw a split up diagram. So don't get scared by the name split up diagram, all those things, and you need not be a good in drawing also for doing all those things. You can do it with the help of a computer, or I think all of the people who are actually sitting in this webinar will be able to know how to draw a circle or a square or a triangle or things like that. So how we are planning to go about this is, we will be starting with a pandemic, which you have to put in an oval shape, whatever it is, because you can use square or oval or whatever it is. So the first thing that we have, the first keyword what we have sourced down is pandemic. Now what you have to do is, we have to think of pandemic. So what are the different dimensions I can take on the first keyword? So for example, you can think of pandemic situation in India. You can think of pandemic situation international. If at all that you want to go state-wise also, you can add one more box and you can write state. Or if you want to have a differentiation between South India and North India, that you can do that. If you want to have a differentiation of Asia, then GEC countries or European Union, the West, all these things, that any type of any sub-dimensions that you are actually thinking for with respect to the pandemic, you can draw that in the spaces which are actually available. Okay, and now what you have to do is you have to write for the second keyword. It is actually psychology. You think on different aspects of that, how many dimensions that you can bring in. So you can study on the household impact, because all living in a home, because it might have bought you additional expenditures, because the power tariff is going like anything, because in a home, if you want to just attend to all the classes, you may require 5 GB or 10 GB of data every day. So that exactly may be giving you more impact. Say for example, you may have old age people in the home, so you may be all scared, because if at all you have an infection of COVID, how can that can be taken care of, all such things that you may have. You can have issues in office also, because I need to work 24/7 right now, because there is no office timing anytime I should be available online. So these type of things, no issues that you also may be having with respect to this. So those type of dimensions also that you can add up with such things. And now what you have to do is that you have to add on the third aspect of it, the third keyword. What you have to search for, impact, of course, will be having positive impact as well as a negative impact. Negative impact, I need not explain further onto this. Positive impact, obviously the webinar what we are doing is a positive impact, and it is generally been observed that illiteracy had increased manifold, because people, there is no other way, because we don't have any other option to actually go for, so that the only way out is to get adapted to the technology and to make the run race fast. This is the only option that you have. So definitely this is having a positive impact if you try to think in that perspective. Okay, so for the sake of just keeping it so beautiful and aesthetic, I have only taken 2 dimensions each keyword. It is not mandatory that you have to only stick on with 2. You can have any number of dimensions. Now the next thing is that if you can draw a beautiful thing like this, you actually can use the Boolean phrases and or. Okay, so now you imagine how many keywords that the 3 words are generating. You can have a study on the international pandemic, the psychological impact of, positive impact of pandemic internationally, the psychological household positive impact in India. So any number of combination that you will be able to work on this. Negative impact, negative psychological impact people are having in the office premises internationally or India. So likewise, you will be able to coin different type of subjects by going for drawing a split diagram like this. You may be asking, what are the use of all these things? Why we have to waste so much of time and sit with all these things? You just think or have a retrospection and you just try to see, have you ever practiced a process like this? If you have not practiced a process like this, the possibility is that you may be missing the integral aspect of things which are closely related with your research. When you try to draw split up diagrams like this, if you have a holistic picture of it, you feel that no, I am not going international. I am only concerned regarding India alone. You can strike off that word international and you can add some more keywords. There is no problem. Or you may be thinking that, okay, for the time being, for the literature review, let the split up diagram be there. Let me see how people had done it internationally. Okay, so you should have made keywords like this. So imagine if I am able to generate these many number of keywords or these many number of topics with the help of just 3 words, imagine how much that you will be able to generate, maybe by increasing 2 more keywords or 3 more keywords all along with this. I'm so sure that this can do wonders out of it. And if you do this process, never you would have said there is no work which is related with me. Okay, because there may be works which are in and around you, and if you do an exercise like this, you will be able to clearly find out where exactly you have the research gap, where exactly, I repeat in inverted commas, where exactly you have the research gap. That is the correct area where you have to pitch in there, because if you are able to contribute into the research gap, then your contribution will be much more validated. And if you could write papers in that, your citations will automatically improve. So this is where you have to focus. And literature review is not, because many of you, or because generally I'm telling, even at the time when I was doing also, I remember thinking, oh my God, who is going to read up all these things? It is not like that. Technology had grown that big. Because if you are sending your paper or sending your thesis for evaluation, there are technological platforms where people can actually check whether you have really did the literature review or not. And you imagine if they are making a negative comment on the literature review what you did, it is equivalent as you building a home without a proper foundation. Because nobody should tell that no, your finding is all wrong, because somebody is telling you your foundation, the literature review is not adequate. This means that what all findings that you have come out with is not trustable, because we cannot trust your findings, or it cannot be generalized. This is the seriousness of it. So mostly if people are doing research, the first year should actually be dedicated for this. So if you could start with a split up diagram, and I have when trying to formulate on the cloud sort of things, I told you may have different themes. Themes can also be generated from this. Positive impact of COVID can actually impact of COVID actually can be say for example can be actually a theme. So you can positive can be a theme, international impact can be a theme, and Indian can be a theme, negative impact can be a theme. Likewise, as to the knowledge, as to your whims and fantasies, you can create different themes. So why you have to create themes is that if at all by any time that you need to revisit all these things, it will be very easy for you to go back if you have split it up into themes. So positive impact, you have, okay, I did this literature review, and when you go for your PhD, you open a defense or any type of public defense like that, you just imagine how confident that you will be. You are actually trying to substantiate all your findings with the existing literature. Nobody could question you, because the results whatsoever that you have found, you are trying to relate with literatures which are near to your finding. You can always tell so and so had only told about this. This is my contribution. So nobody will be able to. So you can stand with utmost confidence and just like try to fire as if that you are firing from an AK-47. So that much confidence that you can build up. So mind you, this is a foundation. This has to be built with good rocks and good mortar, so that you can make your foundation all set. And now we are going to the next step. I have all these things, so what I should do next? Okay, so this I'll come later, because first of all we'll be just seeing how that we have to do all these things. So for the sake of taking it down, because I'm going a little practical now. So we have all pandemic psychology impact, all those three keywords, or pandemic can even be replaced with COVID-19 also, there is no problem. So synonyms also that you may be, this is again another step that I'll be trying to tell you when we'll be going on with the literature review aspect of it. So now the next aspect, I'll try to share another window. Now the next question is actually, we have to keywords, everything is fine. I have made the foundation diagram all set. So now the point is where I will search for. Should I go to a physical library somewhere in good, maybe major university libraries or so, and I have to spend years or months together by verifying huge textbooks, all these things, and sitting a big sheet of paper with me, or scanning all these things? Or what would be the right measure? I have not shared the PPT. No, I'm yet to share that. So where to search is an important question. So for that, what you have to do is okay. So what you have to actually search for is, you can normally use any of the browser. And if at all that you want to go for the free and the open source, the first is again provided by Google. But one thing what you have to search for is, don't generally search in the just Google window. Rather, what you can do is, you can just go to I trust you can see my shared window. Okay, you can just go to scholar.google.co.in. Okay, scholar.google.co.in, which will give you a different interface other than the general Google window. So the general Google window, if you just try to take, it will be just like this. It will be showing a totally different view. This one is actually giving all bibliographical database. So this is very new. 2020 Scholar Metrics is also released. So these are some of the important journal publishers, so that if you want to search with respect to a certain publisher, Elsevier or Science Direct or Oxford or Wiley, all these things, you can specifically go with respect to that also. So here that you can just go and search. Now you may ask me, what is the difference between Google Scholar and the paid bibliographical databases like EBSCO, Emerald, all these things? I'll show you what is the difference also. If you don't have it, because Google Scholar can be accessed anyone in the world who is having an internet and a system, okay, or even from your computer also, sorry, from your handheld device also, you'll be able to easily try to identify that. But problem is, you can only have access to open sources alone. If it is a closed source, say for example, all these things, Elsevier, Oxford, Wiley, all these things, you can only see the abstract and the keywords, nothing other than that. So if you want to explore further into the paper, you have to search for, you have to source for any of the paid versions in that. So for example, we have three keywords. So so I'm just writing psychological impact of COVID-19. Okay. So all my three keywords had come, psychology COVID, it is there. It is a synonym of, again, pandemic, not a synonymic, it is a type of a pandemic. You have also the impact. And the combination, what you want to take, you can try out all the permutations and the combinations. And one more thing, searching, you have to be very careful of the synonyms. Sometimes, example, you might have published a word, maybe a paper on education or on with respect to teachers, where instead of teachers, that you might have used the word educator. So when you search for teacher, your work will not be getting cited here. So that is what I said. The synonym of the words also, that you have to keep it in mind, and you should actually make the combinations by using a synonym as well. So we'll just take a click on enter. So many things had come. So this is the PDF material is available. Psychological impact of COVID, all these things, coronavirus, it is cited by 124 people. Citations will be more if you are publishing it in open source as well, because generally that can go very high. Immediate psychological responses, all these papers will come. Okay, now you can just go to the paper and you can read all these things. Okay, so will this serve the purpose is what we are asking. If you alone stick to or take the help of Google Scholar, your literature review, I'm so sure that it will not be full. Why? Because Google will actually show all the citations where you have access. But many things that you may not have access. See, this one you don't have access to. Emotional impact of COVID-19, medical staff to common people. So sometimes the work what you are trying to search for may not be available for you, other than the abstract of it, or the very integral aspects of it. But you may not be able to get a clear picture on what that paper is all about. So you may be thinking, what's next? Generally, places where you have a good library resources, or say for example, if you have a research center as such, you may be having many bibliographical databases, just like EBSCO, Emerald, JSTOR, then Web of Science, things like that. Many are there. I have just named a few. So we can search, what is the difference that the exact difference that it makes. So I'm just going for search.ebscohost.com. EBSCO is one of the world's largest database, ebsco.com. I have just so that you may be coming out with a login page. And the next one, I'll go for Emerald. Emerald is also equally competent as EBSCO. So when you go to the site of Emerald, it will also be looking like this. So the advantage is that if you don't have access to a paid version of this, there is no point in looking to this, because here only, if you don't have a paid access, you can only see the abstract of it, or at least the title or the heading of the papers what you are actually trying for. Many of the universities are actually providing this service free of cost or for a very nominal fees, maybe 20 rupees, or even it may be less than 100 rupee a day, so that you can just go to the library resources, and you can, it may be connected through LAN. So you can sit in some of the systems which is provided in the library. You can have access to all these things. So let me log into my credentials. Okay, so here also that okay, this is also logged into my credential. Okay, fine. So if you are trying to use any universities or if your own institution, the institution name will be displayed there, so that you can able to find out that you have logged into a paid database. Okay, so now you can choose the databases here. So see academic search alike and ebooks, all these things. So for the time being, if you are going to search, you click on all these things by default, so that we need not miss anything. Okay, so the same keyword I'll just copy from here, and I'll just try to paste it in EBSCO. I'm just going for a search. So this will come, and the same thing that I am doing it in Emerald also. So there also the results will come. And now you see psychological impact of COVID. You have full access to it. PDF full text is available. Okay, PDF full text is actually available. And so psychological impact of COVID and ophthalmology, like ophthalmologist in India. So it is a practicing paper actually. So you can have an access to this, specifically that it came out with that particular text. So if you try to click on the PDF version of it, it will give you the option with that. You will be able to see the full paper. Okay, it will give you, this is what exactly I said. So you can have access to the keywords, coronavirus, COVID, ophthalmology, all these things that you will be, and these are the authors. This is the original article, and you can see the whole set of things, and you'll be able to read about and see, they are actually explaining about the level of depression what people are actually having. So all these things, and we can just find out where Kerala is. Only 72% of people, they don't find any depression. Depression is going to come only because cases are skyrocketing. Okay, now if you just try to see the other search, you have more number of papers in the line. So what you can do is, if you try to click on that particular thing, that see the whole of the thing had actually come. So findings, objective, everything is there. Okay, so here you will be able to find out what all the things that are there. And now immediately an average human being in India or even abroad, what we do is, we will be immediately downloading this, and we will keep on filling our folder. We will keep on filling our folder with all the literatures that you have. So something like you eat biryani, or you eat some the food items when you are so hungry, you'll try to fill the folder, or sometimes it may be a pen drive or a hard disk or whatever it is. You may try to fill 1 terabyte of papers. But the golden rule, I'll tell you, don't ever download a paper if you don't have time to read it. I repeat, if you don't have time to read a paper, better don't download it. Okay. So that is the why also I'll tell you, if you keep on downloading like that, I'm sure that you will not be reading at least 50% of the papers what you have downloaded. So if you feel that a paper is really worth downloading, then only you download. So what you have to do is, the first part is actually you have to actually search or read for the abstract, and if you find that okay, this paper is good, that of course that you can just go on with that. You can just go on with downloading that. Okay. So we have different papers also here, and here you will be able to, if you want the link of it, you can copy this. If you want to export this, you can do that. If you want to cite, if you just try to click on that, the citation format, all the citations will come. Your APA, Chicago, Harvard, all sort of things also will come, so that you can just copy and paste. Or if you want to export it to any of the bibliographical management softwares, EndNote, ProCite, all these things, that also you can do. But don't go for any of these things. The facility is well available in the normal MS Office, the MS Word, what you use. I'm just going to tell you how a citation or how a literature is to be referred and how a citation is actually to be made. This is what I am planning to do actually next. Okay. So for the time being, we'll take a paper where authors are actually less. So I think we'll keep the Indian paper. Okay. So now what you have to do is you have to actually open a Word file. So I'll just take that. I'll just share the window. Just a second. Okay, fine. You have to just take a like a word file, a common Word file. I think all of you are able to see my file. So what you have to do is you have to read the entire paper. First, you have to do the abstract, and you have to actually go for finding out, because the literature review should actually be done by you yourself, based on the understanding what you had on this particular paper. Generally, what people does is they'll be just copying the abstract, just paste it on the literature review, and keep a small smile on your face and keep quiet. Problem where you will face is you will be caught when the thesis is going for plagiarism, or when the paper is actually going for plagiarism. Okay. So I can show you how this works. So for example, if you are just directly trying to, we can just go to the PDF of it. That will be fine. So this is the abstract. Okay. So for example, if you are trying to copy this abstract directly, and you are you are actually trying to paste it in the Word file. Okay. Yeah, fine. So you have just pasted the same thing. So we'll just increase the font size for the time being. Okay, fine. So now this is what that you have, instead of reading the article, what you did is you have just copied it down, and now we are planning to refer it. So how to start with the citation procedure is that you can start the citation at the beginning of the paragraph, or you can do it at the end of the paragraph as well. The difference also I'll tell you. So for the time being, that we can start the referencing, giving the author's reference before the paragraph, before the review starts. Okay. So for that, what you have to do is you have to go to the Word file, the upper side of it. There is a tab by name references. There is a tab by name references. There you try to click on insert citation. Okay, you have to click on insert citation. Before that, you can check one more thing. There is if you click on references, there is a part called bibliographical style. So click on this. All the styles are there. Chicago, it is there. GB 7714, GOST, Harvard, IEEE, ISO, or MLA style. All these things are there. So I'm just now, for the time being, I'm just keeping APA. So I should click on insert citation. Agreed? So now they are asking, what is the type of the source? So all those things are there: book section, article in a periodical, conference proceedings, report, website, documents, n number of things. I think nothing else is there. Almost all the things are actually covered in this. So we are going to review like a cite on an article which is there in a journal. They're asking who are the authors. So you click on the edit function there. You can follow with me all along with this. You can use a Word file and you can start checking whether all these functions are there. So I repeat, you have to click on the edit function. So a new window will come. It will be asking for add name. So this is a format: last name, first name, and middle name. So I'll just go to the other file. Let me copy the things. Just a second. Okay, you can see the file right now, the PDF file.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, now that what we have to do is that we have 3 authors. So Shweta Singh is the first author. What you have to do is that you have to actually copy. You have to go to the Word file. A Word file also you can see, right? Word file you can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, fine. Now, what you have to do is that you have to paste it here. So Singh is actually the last name. Shweta is the first name. So do the paste like this. And what you have to do is that you have to click on add. Add is the plus button here. Now you have to search for the second author. Second author also you can just copy it from here. You come here and the first name that you have to copy and you have to paste it here. Okay. So click on plus. We have 3 authors and Huma Fatima is the third author. Here also that you do the same thing. The first name that you can paste and you can click on OK. Okay, all the authors. Sometimes you may get corporate authors. Say for example, the Hindu Publishing or Times of India or Economic Times or Elsevier by themselves, or Harvard Business Review without an author. If that is the case, you can click on corporate author and you just give which is the author there. Now you have to copy paste the title. You have to actually copy this and you have to copy paste the title. Now you have to go for the journal name. What was the journal name? Actually, we have taken it from, not from here, right? We have taken from Emerald. Okay. So journal name is actually Mendel and Health or something. Yeah. Mendel, yeah, correct. Mendel Health and Social Inclusion is the journal name. So we have to type the journal name there. Year of publication, year of publication is actually, what is that? It is 2020. Yeah. Paper at the end of it, it will be there, Emerald Publishing. 2020 is the page, year, and you have to actually check for the pages. So abstract, just a second. Okay, here you will get all the details, actually volume, all these things are actually there. Pages also will be mentioned somewhere here. You can just now try to find out which are the pages also. Citation print number, I don't know whether the page number is not there. Oh, it is ahead of print only. It seems maybe because of that. Okay, fine. So we have to give for the time being. Now I'm just keeping 55 to 67. Okay, the page numbers that I'm giving. So after doing this, you have to just click on OK. Okay, you see the thing had already automatically it came there. Okay, I have just marked it in red for you to identify. Okay, you need not refer, you need not do anything. Automatically, wherever you have kept your cursor, it will come here. If you are actually doing it as a beginning of the paragraph, you have to add a connecting sentence. That means opined that the spread of it should be like this. Okay, you have to add a connecting line with that. If you are trying to paste it at the end of it, there is no connection required. You have to do it before the full stop. You can just do the copy of cut of it. You can paste it here, and after the reference, you give the full stop. Both the way that you can do. If you are doing at the end of it, don't give any connecting word. If you are actually doing at the starting of it, you have to actually give a connecting word like this. Okay, so normally if you are writing it in argumentative sense, it is mostly used as a beginning of the paragraph, or if you just want to cite, that's it alone. Normally that will be adding it at the end of the just like the text. Okay, and now you may be doing hundreds of reviews like this. At the end of the chapter, you may have a heading like references or bibliography or something like that. There, after writing the heading, what you can do is you can keep your cursor there, go to the references, and you can click on bibliography. You can click on bibliography, and you can just click on the bibliographical databases here. See, automatically it will be displayed in the APA format. Only thing is that if you want to do a little formatting of your fonts, things like that, that alone you have to do. If you have reviewed 100 literatures and if you have used the references in this pattern, entire 100 in the same order, in the alphabetical order of APA referencing, the same thing will be reported. See, the whole stuff, it is there. 2020 authors, all these things. So the use of this is, you need not spend your time in formatting, because this will create a hell lot of headache for you. If you are following a very systematic pattern of doing this, it is much more easy for you to organize your literature reviews. So in a single mouse click, you will get the entire references done. You need not do on anything, because nobody could question you on this is wrong, because it is done automatically by the system itself. It cannot go wrong. Okay. And if at all at any point of time that if you want to update your references, that is also possible. If you click here, then an arrow mark will come. If you click on that arrow mark, you can edit this citation, edit the source. If you want to convert this to static text, means this linkage will not be there. But always it is better that you should keep this link, because this will automatically get saved. And if you copy any paragraph from here to any other parts of your thesis or paper, this the reference link also will come automatically with you. So this is going to help you in a greater extent to avoid all your headaches with respect to citation and writing bibliographies. So this is, and what if so ever that you make any change in this, you can update the citation. So if you make any change, normally that you can, so for example, I'm just going to edit the source. I would like to add me also as an author. Okay, so I have added my own name also with this. Okay, I have, so this source exists in your master lit. They're asking whether you want to change it or not. So you have to change it. And now that you have to update your citation. So see, automatically my name also came here. Okay, such a user-friendly thing. I'm so sure that this is capable of actually reducing the time that you spend on your literature reviews. Okay, so this is how that you can do, and some more things also that I'll be telling you for say for example how to connect different things also. Just a second, let me take the PowerPoint slide. Now can you see the PowerPoint slide? PowerPoint slide, are you able to see?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Fine. So now, just a second. Yeah, these are the words that you have to use for agreements and disagreements, because
Sir, yes, sir, okay, sir.
don't expect that you can only have agreements with respect to review of your literature. So these are the common things that you have to keep it in mind. That means similarly, author B points, if you are in agreement with some other, because two articles that you have reviewed and both are in agreement, so you can use these words. Likewise, author C make the case that, author D also make this point. Again, it is possible to see how E agrees with author D. This type of very integrated things that you have to disagreement. However, author B points to the, on the other hand, author C makes the case that. This is how you have to make it very interactive. Generally, when people write literature reviews will be just like islands. There will not be any connection and link between one literature to the other. It should not be like that. It should be connected and written. And the next slide, that these are some of the interesting reporting verbs what you can use for literature reviews. Always don't write like opine that, argued that, likewise. So you can use assert, assume, challenge, claim, content, contradict, describe, dispute, emphasize, establish, things like that. So these type of reporting verbs also that you can use, so that the style of literature review itself will be very interesting for readers to read. Otherwise it will be very monotonous. And if they don't, especially when you are writing for papers, if you are sending this Scopus review and Scopus index and all, editors will be actually looking or devoting 50 to 60% of the time only to read on literatures. So you have to be very careful regarding that, how much time that they are actually taking for this particular aspect to get finished. So and now this is what I have just explained to you. So now we'll again come back to our Word file. So you say, for example, you see ones that you have. So here we made a mistake. The mistake is that we have not reviewed it. We have just copy pasted the abstract. Okay. So say, for example, if you are doing like this, I will tell you how that you will come into a problem. This is just I want to explain. So now you will save your file. We will save the file with some name. So I have just saved the file. Okay, fine. So now after doing all these things, you have reviewed 100 literatures. All the 100 literatures, what you did, you have just copied the abstract of it. You have just copied the abstract of it, and you are so happy that, okay, I have finished the entire my literature review. Guide or the supervising guide also might have gone through all these things, and they may be, because they may not be knowing that you have just copy pasted the abstract, and some sort of changes that you may be making, and you may be pasting it all together, and you will be sitting all happy. So what will happen is that the next stage, when before submission, or if an author or if an editor of a journal is getting a paper to him, the first and foremost thing that he does is he'll be going for a grammar check, as well as he may be going for a plagiarism check. Okay, so we have to take the help of a software. So I am just exposing you towards a software by name Grammarly. So I'm using a paid version of that. See, most of the good research centers and universities will be having any of the plagiarism software for that. it is little costly. Individually, if you want to buy an year, that you have to pay around 10,000 to 12,000 rupees. Monthly, it may be around 2,500. But institutions can actually go for a business account where you can actually take this subscription based on number of staff members in your institute. So this is a good one, in fact, because for checking assignments, because we used to use this for checking our assignments. If you try to upload all your students' assignments, this software will be helping you to find out who had copied from whom. First one. Second thing is that who had copied from where. That also you will be getting. Grammarly will help you to generate a report. You just send the report back to them. So this will serve a teacher's purpose. So next time onwards, they'll be very positive on that, because they will be knowing that if they just throw some rubbish onto you, this is not going to work. So they will also be more sincere onto this, but it is a little expensive. Okay, fine. So what I am planning to do is that I am just uploading my document, whatever that we have named it as a sample. So I am just uploading it. So what is going to happen? It will take a little of time because, yeah, fine. So it is just going on with the process. Okay, fine. Now, if you are going on for any of the plagiarism or no software like this, they'll be asking you to set the goals. So I am either maybe working on a thesis or a paper. So I'm just going to the expert version of it. This is a very formal document. My domain is academic. Okay, my intents maybe is to inform, describe, and convince. Tone, it is not needed. So these are the goals what I'm setting. So I have set the goals. Okay. So so this is the a thing which is there for you. So your overall score is 99%. You have written it well. There is no, because we also know it is from a very rated journal. We have just copied the abstract. So whatever that written is all good. And they are showing some things also. Being reported is a passive voice. You can consider revising it. Be prevented is also a passive voice. So two errors are actually being shown by it. It is a passive voice case. You can just ignore it because we are not worried about that. Okay. Correctness, clarity, engagement, everything is actually looking good. So there is no problem at all with respect to this. Okay. So what we have to go for is the plagiarism. So here at the bottom side of it, we can just check for the plagiarism. So until this, you are very happy because we have copied it from there and we don't have much of an issue. Okay. See, imagine the plagiarism report will come. That will be the end of you. 86% plagiarism. I have just used only one single article. And what is new here is, see, all the portions which are shaded is plagiarized from somewhere else. And these references and all we only wrote. Okay. Because of that, that will not show. And the site also they'll be showing. The plagiarism is actually from the Emerald Insight. We have copied from the same place. So this is what the plagiarism shows. So here you will end up into a problem. So for that, this is what I said. You have to actually write the literature review from what you have understood after reading the paper. That is what I said. And the university people, or no, they may be just giving you a downloaded PDF report, which actually I'll be just showing you the downloaded report also. Okay, so that it will be much more clear to you. Fine, the report is downloaded. Let me just check, take it. Okay, so this is the report. What it says: plagiarism. These many sources. So word length, all these things, and they will be showing where from that you have copied all these things. Okay, so originality, the original article as like it is being copied, the source will be telling you all these things. So that we can. So now you may be asking how that we can prevent it. There is no problem in actually referring to the abstract what you exactly have. You can even use that, there is no problem, but you have to change the formation of the sentence entirely, because okay, so certain words that you can use the synonyms and the structure of the word fragment also, that you will be able to change, all such things that you have to clearly change. And then if you try to check for the plagiarism report actually will be showing very less. So if you cite also, this is what I would like to just stress. You may be thinking, I have copied, okay, but I have referred it because I am giving the full credit to the authors only. But that will not help you escape the plagiarism check. So mind you, you cannot claim the argument that I have cited so that I can copy the entire stuff and paste. No, never. This will catch you at the end of it. So please don't go for such sort of things. And one more important thing, what I just want to show you is, when you do the literature review, definitely you have to keep an index table like this. You can create it as in an Excel sheet, where it will give what is the serial number of the paper, what you are actually trying to refer, who all the authors are. Are you able to see the PPT?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the authors, the study, this what is this will give you the abstract of it. What was a sample? What was the research design used in it? How much data that they have collected? What are the key findings? If you keep an index table like this, and if you try to arrange your literature review just like themes 1 to theme 2, theme 3, likewise, where inside that you can have the index file as well as the source file. There is no need to actually download a paper. If you want to download, only that you download. Otherwise, you just take the abstract of it and try to keep it in a index file like this. This will help you at the time of writing the findings, because you may be coming out with a finding and you just want to know which article finding is very close to me, or which article that I can substantiate my findings with. So the key finding, you can just type Control F and you just try to type some of the major findings. It will show all the similar findings here. So this Excel sheet will definitely help you in identifying which are the topics that there are there for you to actually substantiate your findings. So if you have this, then at any point of time, you can go back to any of the themes. This is what I said, never download a file if you don't have time to read it, so that you will be able to go back to the theme. So organizing the files is very important. How that you source the file is also very important. And these type of things are actually really important. And there is one more thing that I would like to say and end the session. It is almost 1.5 hours. What I would like to tell you is, if you try to search for Google Scholar, there is another more importance for it. If you are a research supervisor or if you are a research scholar, immediately that you have to create a research scholar database. There, that means you have to create a Google Scholar profile. So what is the advantage of that is, if you try to publish a paper in a good journal or so, automatically Google will try to associate that paper with your name, so that you can have a profile like this. Okay, this is a Google profile. So papers will actually be added to your profile, and you can see what is the number of citation, H index, item index, all those things, and all your co-authors also, that you will be able to find out. What is the advantage of this is, your paper also will be getting much more visibility, and it will be cited by many number of people also. And if at all that you want to apply for interview or something, or no, if at all that you want to apply the just give your link to somebody, just copy the scholar profile and just send it to them. They may be able to know about what all publications that you have. You need not actually type the entire stuff and that you have to take. And you can even copy paste and just like you will be able to like paste it in your CV also. Okay, so this is actually how it is. And I have explained about citation styles that no, it is automatically that will be coming all along with that. With this, I think 1.5 hours is a more of a dose for you. So I would like to just end the session. And now it is the Q&A. And thanks a lot for all the participants. I think we have around 80-90 participants who are there. So thanks a lot for your patient hearing. Today being a weekend also that we have many participants. I think now I am open to questions. So if at all anything is there, that I'll be able to help you.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your valuable presentation, sir. It's really interesting, amazing, and we got many new information from your presentation, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Jidesh KS, CDC Director, will convey the queries, sir.
Yeah.
Over to you, Jidesh. Jidesh.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. If
So, sir, we have some queries in our chat box and Q&A, also in YouTube. Now we are on YouTube streaming, also in simultaneously happen.
Yeah.
So one question is related to EBSO and JSTOR. Question. What's the difference between and how?
See, those two things are actually publishing houses only. Just like because they have a many number of journals under them. Gestor is what they are asking about. Just like Wiley or no, like Elsevier or Sage or no things like Emerald or EBSCO. That is again a database where they have many publications with them. So that is why, because if you are going for EBSCO, Emerald, all these things, you may be you can actually have access to all these things.
Okay, okay. Then how can improve our quality of literature or datas?
The quality of literature can be improved. That is what I said. You just don't search in Google alone. You try to search for more advanced databases. A few that I have shown to you, like EBSCO, Emerald, many are there actually. Many are there. Web of Science, like JSTOR, Elsevier, all these things are there. So what happens is that they are all paid versions. So and you can actually go for the ratings of the journals also. So if you try to take a paper from a more rated journal, normally the quality will be very high. Jidesh, I think you are muted.
Jidesh.
Okay, okay.
Any more questions?
Okay, we have some questions in Q&A.
Yeah, that I can read. How to search for a literature where if you are going for any of the databases, just like EBSCO, Emerald and all, there is an option called advanced search. So in that advanced search, you can select for, because you can make a tick mark where you have the already seen links will not be shown again. So you have an option for that, so that you can filter it off, so that only new articles only will be seen. There is another question from Ishfaq, but I think I have addressed you. Jigar Kumar Vagela, he asked about Mendeley software. This is what Professor I said. It is always better to have the facility used in MS Word. MS Word, even with EndNote also, MS Word sometimes may have compatibility issues. So most of us will be doing our thesis or paper in MS Word. So if you have an option in MS Word, then why that we need to go for other databases? So it is always easy to do it in MS Word. It may have, because MS Word may have compatibility issues sometimes with some of the other softwares. Narayan Dhamala had asked about, is it necessary to include citation number in the literature review, or it is optional? Generally, in APA style, numbers are not required. It is just made in the alphabetic order. Sometimes certain journals will be telling you to number it. If they are asking for numbers, then you can. It is optional only. If it is asked for, that you can do it. Yeah, there is one anonymous attendee. The name is not there. Thank you for the valuable information. I have already published articles. Can I add my article? Yeah, of course. If you have created a Google profile, there are two options. I can just show it to you now. Just a second. If you go to the My Profile section, what you can actually do is there is a plus mark here. So if you try to click on plus mark, add articles group, add articles, if it is there, automatically they will try to show you articles where your name is there. If it is not showing, then you have to go for add articles manually. So if you click on add articles manually, the same way as what we did in MS Word, you can do it here and you can click on this tick mark. So automatically that will get added for you. So that is how it is. Then Priyanka Arana, sir, can you please tell about direct and indirect quotation to avoid plagiarism? How many lines can we? Normally, plagiarisms are actually checked based on the word counts. So sometimes they might have fixed the status that continuous 5 words or continuous 4 words or 6 words, things like that. So what you can do is, because after copying it and then doing the indirect way or doing the direct way, it will again take much of a time. It is always a better you just read and you write it in your own language. You need not worry about plagiarism at all, because it will not come, because you are writing from your own mind. That is a better way. If you are taking a reference from a paper, do we need to reference that paper? Of course that you have to do, otherwise, because all the paper, I think you are referring about newspapers. These days, of course, yes, but because all the newspapers are actually going online. So this will try to keep a search of almost all the things. It is mandated to publish in one of the UGC careless journals during PhD. Many of the universities are now going for that. But what I would like to say is that you need not stick on care list. You should all focus on Scopus indexed. Care list is just only a little more because large collection of things. I think you have to look for Scopus or ABDC category papers. Sometimes your paper may get rejected, but you will get a beautiful review from the editors. That itself is good for you for the next paper to be built on. So you have to actually, being a non-native speaker of English, what are the ways for improving language quality of our literature? This is what I said. Grammarly is again a software which will give you all the suggestions. There are other softwares also which can help you on this. So there is no need for giving the entire set to some of the teachers who can do the proofreading. You can just do it in just seconds, and all the options also, because how to change that also will be shown by softwares like this. So you can just make a click mark, automatically it will get changed. How much plagiarism is accepted in academic research papers? It depends actually. It can range from maybe 3 to 4% to 12% or 10%, things like that. It actually depends. What is the conceptual gap and contextual gap in a literature review? So the word itself is suggesting about that. Sometimes you may be, this is what I told you about the themes. And the next thing is how much it is actually relevant for the context. Certain problem may be finding it very interesting, but it may not be valid for the current context. Okay. So have you, the example also, and I'll tell you, if somebody is talking of webinars and all these things, when you have a physical mode available, and if you try to learn on webinar or something like that, people may feel that, okay, it is very innovative, but it is not contextual, because in that context, why we require this? Because we can organize a conference, we can invite many people, we can have good lunch, and we can have all jolly, type of thing. And physical presence, you can include actually more number of hours also. So this type of thing. So that is again the difference between the themes and about how that concept is actually what value addition that you are trying to give to the concept, and how much it is actually relevant for the context. I trust I have addressed Yuvraj. Sir, can we use ed, draw, mind? See, I have just told you about 2 or 3 technological integration. There are lakhs of things available. I would like to say lakhs. So you can, the freedom is for you. You can actually explore further. There may be many number of tools are available. You can use anything which you find is easy for you. Many things are just, you try to search for any of the softwares for bibliographical databases, literature reviews, all these things are actually available. Is it essential to take references from high impact factor research? High impact factor research articles, if you try to take a paper, chances of errors will be very less. If you take from other sources, I'll tell you, I'm making some nonsense study and I can publish it anywhere. Okay, so what happened? When you try to search, you will also be getting the research nonsense what I have prepared. So what you will be doing, you will be referring the nonsense what I have prepared. So what effect that it makes is, that is why that we are trying to tell that it should be taken from high impact research articles. For literature review, do we need to read the whole paper? I prefer yes. Why? Because you may not be knowing which is the point that is valid for you. If you want to know about it, you have to read right from the top to the bottom. Is abstract alone enough to write literature review? Never. Sandosh Nityananda, I would like to say you have to read for the full paper, because abstract will only give a glimpse of what it is written in the paper. You may be looking for a methodology for your own paper. So if you read the literature review only, you'll be able to find out what literature review is there. Was there any free plagiarism? There are many free plagiarism softwares, but problem is that what Tabas Burman, university, when you submit all these things, or if you are trying to submit it to a journal, they'll be using the most advanced plagiarism softwares. Free versions will not be catching all the plagiarism content. So sometimes you may get freed from a free software, but you'll be caught at the time that you are submitting it. Why that we want to have a trouble at the end of it? We have to be always happy for that. Self-plagiarism is a very interesting concept actually. So how that you can avoid that is, don't there are, if you are writing a paper, there are specific restrictions for quoting your own work. So sometimes if you try to publish from your own thesis, this can happen, because the same wording, the same things that you may be writing. So you have to be little more creative enough to write your own contents again. So even if you refer also, it can come. So because people, in order for them to improve the citation and all, they just like that. But now journals are very like cautious about this, because they sometimes may have some softwares which could do all these things. Then is there any line limitation? As of now, there is no line limitation, but certain universities actually will tell for the percentage content of the pages, but generally there is no line limit to my knowledge. Then Meena Anurag has asked for, sir, can you tell a few apps for concept mapping in thesis presentation? I think you need not actually go for mapping any of the, by using any of the softwares as such. This is what I said. The simplest thing what you can do is actually you try to generate the keywords and try to generate the themes for that. So, and based on each and every theme that you can use any of the websites like EBSCO, Emerald, Gestor, or things like that, for filling the content from that. And so that you will be able to go in a very systematic manner. And at the end of it, if you make the like that Excel sheet what I have shown to you, where specific details are there, you'll be able to come out with a review which will try to help you whether you have finalized with respect to each and every objectives of your study. So I think I have answered you, Maina Anurag. I think we have 2 more questions. Maximum limit, I have already addressed it, and how to find research gap. So research gap, this is what you, if you do an intense literature review only, you'll be able to find out that whether there is a literature gap or not. And this is the gap is what exactly what you need to pitch in when you are trying to do a research on. Then only you can say I have contributed to the world of literature, because mostly in your open defense, the question what you have to expect is, what is the contribution made by you to the world of literature? So if you don't have any answer on that, don't do research then. So if you try to find out a topic for research, the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what value addition I am going to add at the end of my research? And if the answer what you are telling is known to everyone prior to your research, there is no point in why you need to spend time 3 years or 4 years to find out an answer which is known to everyone. It should not be like that. Your research findings should be innovative in that sense. Then only that you will be able to convince others and write and publish more number of papers, which can actually be a contribution to the world of literature. So I think I have answered one more. Hari Krishnan, what is your opinion about systematic writing style? Writing styles are there plenty. You can take a deductive approach. You can go for a systematic approach. You can go for an year-wise approach. Many theme-based approach. Many approaches are actually there. Whichever is actually convenient. Now the contemporary style is actually argument and disargument. So the general style, this is what I said. I have told you to come out with a funnel approach, whereby you start with a plethora of things and try to narrow it down and come with a specific theme what you are trying to work it out. So based on the objective that you can plan for the funnel, and objective wise that you can stream down and you can come down and pitch it exactly on the specific area where that you are trying to research on. So Jidesh, I think I have addressed all the questions. If there are no questions further.
Okay, okay, enough, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
So there's
no
more
room for
time.
more. Yes. Now we are on
It is almost 1 hour 45 minutes.
Okay.
I think I have
And now
done.
it's the time to wind up. Okay, I think you are tired too.
Yeah, thank you.
You have
Okay,
patiently
Shiba ma'am.
answered all the questions. Okay. So we shall wind up, sir.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we shall wind up with a word of gratitude, sir. On behalf of MES College Erumeli, I express my sincere gratitude to Hareesh sir for spending your valuable and precious time with us. You have a really grateful presentation. You have done a really grateful presentation to us, sir. From the bottom of our heart, we express our sincere gratitude to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Then we are grateful to our principal Mahin Amin sir for his support and coordination. He always inspires us by his words and deeds. Sir, we thank you. Then I express my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Rema Devi, a Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator, for her toil and hard work and also her visions. Thank you, Madam. And even of this type cannot create in a day. I think Mr. Sabjan and his ITSL team members, their hard work is appreciable. So the team members, Jace, Tansim, Jinish, and Anandu, thank you once again. Thank you all. Then I express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Jidesh K, CDC Director, for his innovative ideas and coordination. Thank you, Jidesh. Last but not least, we are thankful to all of you present here and made this event a memorable one. Thank you, all the participants. Thank you once again, all of you. Thank you, sir.
So with all your permission, let me leave, and thank you all for giving such a wonderful opportunity to interact with the people from the research fraternity. I trust now we'll have more opportunity to associate with your institute also.
Yes, sir.
We'll be also sharing with you all this type of research information with you, so that we shall collaborate and grow. So thank you, sir, Mahin sir, Jidesh sir. And I would like to place on record my own professor Rajesh sir for actually giving my reference to sir.
He's also my guru.
Yeah. Shiva ma'am, thank you for that, and thank you all in the panel. So we shall see somewhere. Namaste from my side.
Okay, sir. Thanks from the MES family, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sir.
ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി കോളേജിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഭാവിയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ആശങ്ക പലതായിരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ സുന്ദരമായ ആ ക്യാമ്പസിലേക്ക് കയറി ചെല്ലുമ്പോൾ ഒരു ആത്മവിശ്വാസം എനിക്ക് ലഭിച്ചു. നല്ല സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, സംശയമകറ്റി വെളിച്ചം പകർന്നു തന്ന അധ്യാപകർ, പുതിയ ആശയങ്ങൾ നൽകിയ ലൈബ്രറി, ഏകാഗ്രതയും നല്ല ഓർമ്മകളും നൽകിയ ക്ലാസ് റൂമുകൾ, ഡിജിറ്റൽ ലോകത്തേക്ക് പറക്കാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ച കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ലാബ്. അങ്ങനെ MES കോളേജ് എന്നെ ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് സ്വപ്നം കാണുവാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വളരെ ഹാപ്പിയാണ്. സ്വപ്നങ്ങളെ പിന്നിലാക്കി ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ പറന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. യു ഹാവ് ടു ഡ്രീം ബിഫോർ യുവർ ഡ്രീംസ് ക്യാൻ കം ട്രൂ.
MES College, Erumeli, proposed PO, Erumeli, Kottayam, unaided Arts and Science College under the Muslim Educational Society, approved by Government of Kerala and affiliated to the Mahatma Gandhi University.
ഞാൻ കോളേജിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഭാവിയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ആശങ്ക പലതായിരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ സുന്ദരമായ ആ ക്യാമ്പസിലേക്ക് കയറി ചെല്ലുമ്പോൾ ഒരു ആത്മവിശ്വാസം എനിക്ക് ലഭിച്ചു. നല്ല സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, സംശയമകറ്റി വെളിച്ചം പകർന്നു തന്ന അധ്യാപകർ, പുതിയ ആശയങ്ങൾ നൽകിയ ലൈബ്രറി, ഏകാഗ്രതയും നല്ല ഓർമ്മകളും നൽകിയ ക്ലാസ് റൂമുകൾ, ഡിജിറ്റൽ ലോകത്തേക്ക് പറക്കാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ച കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ലാബ്. അങ്ങനെ MES കോളേജ് എന്നെ ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് സ്വപ്നം കാണുവാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വളരെ ഹാപ്പിയാണ്. സ്വപ്നങ്ങളെ പിന്നിലാക്കി ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ പറന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. യു ഹാവ് ടു ഡ്രീം ബിഫോർ യുവർ ഡ്രീംസ് ക്യാൻ കം ട്രൂ.
MES College, Erumeli, proposed PO, Erumeli, Kottayam, unaided Arts and Science College under the Muslim Educational Society, approved by Government of Kerala and affiliated to the Mahatma Gandhi University.